My name's Giles, I'm from Scotland, if you can't already guess. I will try to be as clear and coherent as possible without, sounding like a complete and utter wanker. Is anyone overly sensitive or can't handle swearing? That's what I fucking like to hear. Right, so I do curse a lot, I apologise, I'm from Glasgow. Just give you a bit of background, I have been doing jiu-jitsu for 13 years now. I've got numerous injuries, I've done loads of competitions. I am going to show you the Iron Maiden back control tonight, or at least some of the kind of core parts of it. Just to give a shout out, this is from a guy called Matt Darcy, based over in the States at Guerrilla Jiu-Jitsu. If you like what I've done tonight, then have a look for Matt Darcy, Guerrilla Jiu-Jitsu, Iron Maiden back control. So, without further ado, I need a volunteer. On you come. God bless you. Right, everyone can definitely understand me, right? Yeah. No. Fuck off. That's my partner, ignore him. She's going to be making snide comments all night, I'm sure. Right, so, just before I get into it, obviously, I'm sure we're all aware of John Danaher and all the kind of DVDs he's been popping out and how it's essentially like a university course, 8 hours long. He talks for about 5 hours and then maybe there's like 2 minutes of technique. I am going to try and cut out most of that bullshit. So we're going to start off in the happy position of us being on the back and getting the seat belt. So, just orientate now, thank you. So, guys, if you're at the back, I'm not fucking see-through, come on now. So, there's a million and one ways to take the seat belt. I've seen it explained by 10 different black belts, 10 different ways. The way I like to do it is I like to make sure I'm super close. I want to stab them in the heart. So I've got my right arm over the shoulder, left arm underneath. Stab them in the heart. Sorry. If you're teaching children, obviously don't teach them about stabbing. I just like to stab them a bit because I'm from Glasgow and, aye. How could you tell? So, stab. No. Fuck off. Stab them in the heart. Cover the mess. If you're teaching children, ice cream cone, smush it into the chest, cover it. There you go. From here, get my head super close so my chin is over the trap and make sure you're cheek to cheek like lovers. Make sure your thighs are pinching. Really, the critical part here is the seat belt. The legs, if you lose them, it's a pain in the arse. But really, this seat belt is key. See my elbows? My elbows are pinching. See I'm controlling the far shoulder here? I'm pinching here, I'm pinching here. With my students back home, I'll have them hold this, another person struggles for a minute and tries to get away. So that's what we're actually going to do. So I'm just going to hold it, I'm going to pinch everything tight, and you're just going to try and come to turtle, or try and move around. You can even stand up if you want, I don't mind. I should note this drill is stolen from Mario. You should have listened to one of our black belts that sometimes comes to camps. I loved it so much so I had to pinch it. So I just want everyone to get a partner. I want you to get your seatbelt, stab them in the heart, cover the mess, cheek to cheek, pinch with the elbows, pinch with the thighs. One person's going to do it for a minute, so I'm going to let you all grab your partners, get ready. I'll time you, and then I'll tell you to switch. Is that clear? All right, well, grab someone, grab someone. Don't clap, clap and shite. Come on, grab a partner. Ready? Ready? Go! So we're doing that drill to give you an appreciation of just how uncomfortably close you have to be to another person. You should be infringing on their personal space and make them feel like, oh, I can't get rid of this person. You should be like a wet towel or a wet blanket. So, let's start off. So we've got our seatbelt done right. We're going to fall to the underhook side, so the one that's under the armpit. We're going to fall to our side. I'm going to take my top foot and put it on our hip. I'm going to take my bottom leg and put it across where their belt is, my belt line hook. And then, making sure this is tight, and making sure my face is still underneath, I'm going to shift them. So I'm going to kind of shift them. See how I push using my foot here? Now, his shoulder is on my chest. This is going to make it easier to get my setups, and I'm still going to make sure my face is underneath his head. Because if I'm up here, then start escaping, start sliding the head. You can start trying to slide your shoulders to the mat and get your head out. You can start being really annoying here. That's one potential route. I can't cover every single variation. So, belt line hook, I've adjusted here. So we're all going to get to this stage here. Next, we're going to start doing a sequence which is called the peel, punch, pass sequence. So, from here, we're going to assume that our partner is not an idiot. We're going to assume that they're not just going to go, oh yeah, choke me, Giles. Choke me, Daddy. No. They're actually going to fight back. We have to be ready. So, the moment he starts trying to grab a hold of my hand, I'm going to go, okay, that's fine. My top hand, I'm going to rip it out. So I'm going to peel my hand out. I don't rip it all the way out here and start waving to my mum in the crowd. I'm going to rip it out. So peel, punch. See, I've got a hold of the wrist here, his top wrist, my top hand, punching it straight so I've got some strength in my arm. I'm not very strong, so I have to use whatever leverage I've got. Pass. So I'm passing it to my other hand now. Okay? And then intercept. So I'm going to assume that he's going to try and fight and try and grab my hand here. So I have to intercept it before he does that. So there can be hand fighting here, yes, but I'm going to have my hand here, hidden next to his neck. I'm going to go on then. Aha! Straight jacket. Okay? I'm just lifting my head so you can all hear me clearly, because you know, my accent and all that. In reality, I'll be very close in here. Super close. I should really, this is quite uncomfortable actually. So we're going to get to this stage here. If you've done jiu-jitsu for a while, you watched old Gracie tapes, you probably know straight jacket. So, quick recap. Seatbelt. Stab in the chest, cover the mess, cheek to cheek, super tight with the elbows. Fall to the underhook side. Top foot on hip, belt line hook. And with your foot here, shift. So I'm underneath him. I can look him square. I can look him in the eyes now, and this is a moment. I'm going to rip or peel my top hand out. If I'm struggling, I can dig a finger inside, or I can dig a thumb in here. Whatever it takes, just get that bloody hand of yours free. Peel, punch, pass. Ready? Oh, intercept. This is what I want you to get to. Thank you. So obviously have a few goes each and then switch between yourselves. Was that clear? Thank fuck for that. Right, everyone, get out your partner. Let's go! A few people are having trouble with, that's fine. So we've got our seatbelt, stab in the chest, yada yada. Fall to our side. This is the point some people are kind of, I don't know. Foot on the hip. I've got my belt line hook. I'm using this foot here to push and adjust. See? So I've still got a super tight grip. Some people are kind of coming here. That's not what you're after. You're trying to adjust it so his shoulder is right in my breastbone, right in my sternum. That's what you're after. So just to illustrate once more. Belt line hook. I push. And see now, we're almost side on, almost like he's turned away from me ever so slightly. But I'm still very close. So that's just that little detail there. Well, tell you what, let's move on to the final part of this sequence. So, got seatbelt, I'm stomping, I've adjusted. He's obviously going to try and not get strangled, as most normal people would do. I'm going to peel, punch, pass. From here, I'm going to intercept. Matt Darcy doesn't really talk about this, but I like to kind of bait the person. So I go, if I keep my hand out here, they're snatching it and it's a pain. But if I'm here like this, got you. I'm more likely to win this little battle. You always want to put yourself in a position of strength when you're more likely to win. It feels like bullying, but fuck it. From here, this is the bit that some people, if they're less mobile, might struggle with. I'm going to take my heel, stomp on the forearm, and take their arm away from them. I'm going to try and tuck my toes behind the back if possible. If not, that's fine. But make sure you at least pinch your knee. For those of you who are like Giles, I can't do that. I don't do yoga. That's fine. Don't worry about it. From here, I can push on the hip. See how I'm moving down a little bit? All with this foot on the hip. So, this makes it easier for me to get my leg over. Humour for the British crowd. The Carry On movie lovers. No, Caroline got it. There you go. Fanar. Ooh, matron. From here, I'm going to stomp. And I'm going to do my utmost to get my toes behind my opponent's back. From here, I ideally want to pinch, as this makes it more difficult. Can you get your arm out there, please? Come on. I'll buy you dinner. So, as you can see, it's not a bad control. From here, lastly, after we have stomped, I'm going to push down. So, obviously, I've still got this wrist controlled. I'm going to pass to my bottom arm now. I'm going to control. Little detail, I don't want to just kind of blindly grab the wrist and hope for the best, because straighten your arms, yeah, it's gone. However, if I put my fingers inside the hand and put my thumb in the back, like I'm doing some Steven Seagal Aikido bullshit, go on. Lovely. And that's that. So we're just going to spend a few minutes, not as much time now, just going over this final part. So I just want everyone to start off. So, seatbelt, fall to the underhook side, foot on, belt line hook, adjust, he defends, okay, peel, punch, pass, intercept, and now I'm going to stomp, so if I have to adjust, foot on, leg over, an hour, stomp, trap. Pinch your knee like fuck, like your life depends on it, because it might do. Funny story, I was actually in a street fight in Glasgow once and I took someone's back. Don't do it. Honestly, don't. Not a good idea. By that I mean don't get into a fight, and also don't take someone's back in a street fight. It's a bad idea. Okay, sorry, I was off on a tangent. From here, I'm going to switch, so my bottom hand now is going to grab my partner's hand, fingers inside, thumb on the back of the hand, push down. I'm straightening my arm to make sure I will win this battle, because I'm not as strong, but I've got a frame. And then from here, obviously, the world's your oyster. Make sense? All right, folks, go, play. Let's go. Right. Does anyone have any questions thus far? Because I know I'm throwing a lot at you and we're tired and you're already struggling to understand my accent as it is. So, we good? Excellent. Fantastic. Now, let's get to what you all came for, submissions. So, we're going to start off with an old favourite. We're going to do the rear naked choke. Or rear lapel choke, sorry, I should say. Although the rear naked choke is also possible here. So, peel, punch, pass, intercept. I can adjust more so I can get the stomp, pinch, and then hand inside here, push down. From here, I'm going to hunt with this hand in mine. Now, some people I roll with are
They don't, you know, they're okay. Some people are very determined to not get strangled, so they'll kind of tuck their chin, and that's great. I love that. So, there's various things you can do, depending on how much of a cunt you are. Number one, you can be sort of nice and use the can opener. So, get that underneath. That's actually very nice compared to what I'm going to do next. Some people like to lift the head. I don't think that doesn't work. Oh, some people come up underneath the nose. I don't like that. There's also a technique I like to call the Sean Connery. Not just because I'm Scottish, but because he did this in a movie once, I'm sure. Take your thumb, and if they're really tucking their chin in, it's like, oh, okay, that's fine. Sean Connery, thumb, because this tears skin. I'm really sorry, I will actually buy you dinner after this. So, you want to get your hand in as deep as possible. A little detail here, rather than just kind of grabbing the lapel, for anything that involves lapel chokes, generally speaking, you want to flip the lapel. So you do that by hunting your thumb in, so my thumb comes in super deep. See, my thumb is almost by his ear. And then I want to flip. It might take me a few tries, but then I flip so that this edge of the lapel is going to come in. I should also note, the only reason I'm basing my head out this way is so you can hear me clearly. In reality, I'm being super tight. Everything has to be pinched in tight. I don't want to even give them so much as a centimetre of space. This can be a workout in itself, but, you know, since when was jiu-jitsu meant to be easy all the time? You know, pain for pleasure. From here, I've got this push down. I've systematically removed all the defences, and then I'm going to cut the throat. And that's all she wrote. So for anything that's sort of lapel-based, even your regular sort of lapel chokes, slit the throat. So, just once more, we'll reset. You obviously don't want to get choked. Pew, punch pass. Push down. From here, if they're not defending, great. If they are fighting, which a lot of people will do, you've got options. So you can use knuckle here, can opener, or you can use the thumb. I would recommend you do not do this to your training partners or to anyone at camp. Save this for that one crazy motherfucker that comes in and tries to, like, I don't know, calf slice you within 30 seconds of meeting them. You know the type. I know the type. Or maybe it's just me. Love you too, darling. From here, in, choke. And then we'll only do this for a couple minutes, then we'll come back in, and I've got more variations to show you. Make sense? Let's go, play! Okay, so got a lot. That was just a little classic one, you know. You've done it once, you've done it a million times. We're going to do the crossbow now. So, again, the only reason we're able to do a lot of these attacks is because we've been systematically removing grips and methods of the person has to defend. Really, the whole basis of this system is just funneling someone into a position where they're totally and utterly fucked. That's what you're trying to aim for. Really, that's the whole point of offensive jiu-jitsu, I think. To put them in a position, almost like a stress position, where they're like, to the point where they're like, you know what, I might as well just tap. That's really the best victory, because at that point, you've completely dominated. You're like, yep, I've got this. They've got no recourse, no defence. You can go home and feel good about yourself. So, we've done the rear lapel choke. Let's now, just move around a wee bit so Florian doesn't have to move. So, here, punch pass. So, perhaps we're not quite able to get the lapel underneath. Perhaps we're struggling to get a good grip, that's fine. One of the things I like to do is I like to do a sort of bow and arrow variation. So, I'm going to shift them down a little bit. You see how I'm using my leg again to move them? I'm going to bring my belt line hook up even higher up the body. Yeah? From here, I've still got this hand trapped. This is very important. I will sweep this arm round and bring it with me. From here, I want to cross my ankles high up the body. I know people say, oh, don't cross the ankles, never cross the ankles. That's a rule meant to be broken, so long as you know what you're doing. All the rules can be broken so long as you know what you're doing. Really, the rules are just guidelines of sorts. They're kind of little suggestions. Oh, maybe don't cross your legs in the back when you're in the back, because then someone might, break your ankles. That's all they are. They're suggestions. Some are stronger suggestions than others. But here, for now, cross the ankles. Try and break my ankles. I said break them, not caress them. Okay, so from here, we can successfully say, yeah, fuck it, we've broken the rule. Next, I'm going to make sure my shoulder is behind the head. And now I'm going to sweep this arm behind the head. If you've done judo, you'll know kata hajime. So I'm going to knife hand behind their head. And as I knife hand, the other arm slits the throat. And that is a tap. If I want to be extra nasty, I can grab my own forearm. So this hand here that sweeps round, I grab my own forearm. And then at the same time, sorry. Can you see that again? Yes. Right. I'm sorry, they've been really mean to you. You're a good sport. So from here, once more, fall, adjust, peel, punch, pass, intercept, stomp, push that, Oh, damn it, I've not got a grip. He's defending, or he's just been stubborn, or perhaps he's really big and I'm really small, which is every day for me because I'm fun-sized, you see. From here, I'm going to make sure that I've got this leg all the way over. I'm going to bring this arm up. I'm going to adjust so I can bring my belt line leg higher up. Cross my ankles. You can cross them that way. I don't really mind. I kind of like to cross them belt line hook on top. From here, make sure my shoulder is round the back of his head. I don't want to make it easy for him to pop off the elbow. So I want to make sure that I'm very close and my elbow is tucked in. This is a good rule of thumb for any bow and arrow technique. From here, sweep this arm round, back of the head, kata hajime, or if I'm an asshole, which I am, grab the forearm and extend. So, at the same time as you've got your ankles crossed, you're extending, your arm is extending as well, and that's all she wrote. Does that make sense? Yes. Excellent. Right, everyone, get out your partner, let's play! Go on. So just a little adjustment for that crossbow choke. If you're having trouble getting your ankles in the right place, that's fine. So just to give you a little solution, I adjust. From here, I'm adjusting to get my foot higher up if I can. If you're not flexible, don't worry about moving your leg. Worry about moving your body. So move yourself up, see? And then from here, what I can do is I can kick my legs over that way. So I can set my butt, so I kick. And see now, we've come to our butt. We can sit. I've still got my foot that was trapping their arm. It's still in place, it's still jammed in. Cross my ankles. And now from here, well, this is fucking horrible. So from here, that's all she wrote. So just that little detail. This way. So from here, I've got this foot, this arm trapped, just working a little bit further up, and I'm going to kick over that way. So kick, my legs, sit up. I'm still going to try and trap this arm here, but now I can start adjusting, I can start crossing my legs. Obviously this is even easier if you've got your legs already over the shoulder. But you're just kicking your legs, you start up, then you can do your attacks from here. Does that make sense? So, I'm going to finish off with a little something flashy, a little arm bar from here, if you all want. So, this is the final technique of the night. So from here, perhaps you can't get any form of choke. They are fighting you tooth and nail. Fine. You don't like that? I have other solutions. Take your arm here and knife hand. So see, I've rubbed my forearm along the face. Grab the wrist. So the arm that was on top comes underneath their face. Grab the wrist. And now, Kimura trap. We all know what a Kimura is, right? Yeah, just a bit. Grand. From here, we're just about set. If I can, I want my belt line hook to be hooking around the thigh. And then I'm going to push the Kimura trap away. So I'm going to straighten my arms, push, because now I'm going to swing my right leg over the face, and this makes it easier. If I'm here with this, no. But if I push, much easier. Stomp and Kimura at the same time. Then, slowly rotate. See how I pull the wrist into me. Oh, he's very tapping. Shit. As you can tell, this works. Keep on bringing your knees together. Grab a hold of the wrist. Grab a hold of the elbow. This is your main prize. You never let it go. If all else fails, perhaps you feel like you're losing it, you can sit up. Just move around this way, please. Just move. Thank you. You can sit up. Grab it here, maybe grab your gi, and then make sure everything's correct, make sure your knees are pinching, get the wrist, get the elbow. That's all she wrote. Who needs to see that again? It's a little bit flashy, so don't worry. You've still got many other techniques you can use to impress your friends and family with. Or your pets. From here, can't get the choke, okay. Top arm comes underneath, comes on the side of their face. Grab their wrist, grab your own wrist, Kimura trap. Next, extend the Kimura trap away from you, and this makes it easier to get leg over the face, stomp, Kimura. So you split your body two ways. And then pull, 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 pull. Bring your knees. Oh, yeah, okay, that's soundbar time. You get the general idea, I'm sure. Does that make sense? Yes. All right, everyone. Last technique. Few minutes. Play with that and go. Have fun. Enjoy yourselves. So, do we have any final burning questions that cannot wait?
It's a very good one. So you said for the first stroke, it's important to twist the lapel.
Yes.
Why is that?
Number one, this is where you get into the fine areas of the gi. Sometimes the lapel, this end of the lapel here, this fat side, or sometimes this part here might catch in the throat, especially with defending. I find, however, when you scoop it, the fin edge where the seam is easier to pull underneath their jawline. That's why. That make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. One more question, because I don't want to keep Shanti waiting. One more. Clearly you all know exactly what you're doing then. Excellent. As I said, folks, I have put the flow chart for pretty much everything we've done tonight on the group page. If anyone has any questions about the back, I am here at all the open mats, or I will try to be, or even at dinner, you can grab a hold of me and pester me with questions. And I'm more than happy for you to ask. All right? Thank you very much, folks. You've been wonderful. Give yourself a round of applause.